Hey everybody, GCR here. Just a slight warning if you're Jason Piles and you don't want to know anything about anything in the realm of spoilers. This episode has some spoilers for Rogue One, so gird your loins and tread quietly into that dark night of spoilers. What's up, everybody? GCR here, asking you to head on over to iTunes and subscribe and review our show. And then follow us on Twitter at GeekCastLive and retweet the hell out of us. I promise that if you do, I will eat this entire grapefruit. I'm not kidding. I'll eat the whole thing.
Hey guys, Rob Bass here. Just wanted to let you know that if you like our podcast and want to support us, be sure to check us out at patreon.com/GeekCastLive. That is patreon.com/GeekCastLive.
Hello, friends. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/GeekCastLive. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Geekcast Joe here. As some of you know, I'm a morning person. As all of you know, morning people are the worst type of people. For help dealing with people like me, I recommend a switch to Death Wish Coffee, the world's strongest coffee. When you're checking out, be sure to use the discount code GEEKCAST for 15% off your order. Who knows? Maybe you'll become a morning person too. Death Wish Coffee, now available in the App Store and on Google Play.
It's a trap!
All right, knuckleheads, welcome to literally the very last episode of the season.
The Geek Boom Boom now.
That's Snow, and I'm GCR. With me, as always,
Rob Bass.
It's Nico.
And Cartoon Joe.
And that really was Snow. We got him on for just a little bit there. What do you think that cost me to get him to come on and do that little bit?
Literally one arm and one leg.
He had to give you everything in his left pocket.
Yep, he had to give me a left pocket Jones.
Yep. A little bit of pocket pool, a Canadian dollar, and 2 menthol parliaments.
And a fully filled out Subway stamps card.
Right, that expired in June of 2002.
You remember those damn things? Every time you bought 6 inches, they give you a little stamp.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking stamp
did
card,
he request it to be expired already, or did it just happen to be expired?
No, Snow.
They stopped honoring them.
He's just been like one of those time warp deals where that was like
like a fugue state.
Yeah, he kind of shut down mentally in like 2001.
Is it a fugue state? Him and Shaggy.
And Aini Carosi.
And Bella Carosi?
Yep. So Bella Carosi, Snow, and Shaggy went to a bar.
Oh, Jesus. It was a weird gymnast joke.
Spazkaban.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Skazkaban.
Welcome to the season finale.
Where they send really shitty dubstep producers. For penance.
Spazkaban.
For penance.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh. We made it a season. We made it one whole season. 49
I don't know
episodes.
how. I really don't know how. Thanks to some great guests.
I've been wearing my +2 amulet of fortitude lately to stave off the willies.
Which is it's cock ring? Yeah?
It's doing well.
Your +2 cock ring. Yeah, of course.
Yes. It's also an amulet.
Well, that's for the clitoral stimulation. You got to have the amulet on there.
It's a vibrating clitoral stimulation of
cock ring amulet of fortitude.
Now that we've got that cleared up.
+6 modifier.
I was like, well, the +2 modifier wasn't much, but his advantage in the sack is pretty good.
Right. Well, it saves you 10 minutes of foreplay. So Kind of a win.
It is well, so it's a win-win, really, when it comes to clitoral stimulation. Anyway,
Strong start.
I didn't know I was capable of love.
Oh, don't bring emotion into this; it just gets awkward.
So this is the season finale. This is the last episode before a month-long break, and it will be released on Christmas Eve. So just to get that out of the way, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Merry
all of the holidays.
Things that people might be doing. I don't know.
Diwali to you, our Hindi listeners.
There it is.
I hope all of you are listening to this as you are traveling about your merry holiday season, and hopefully brings you just a modicum of joy.
Just a small one. I don't want you to. I don't want
Not
us
too much
to be
fun.
the reason that you are overjoyed.
Right.
Maybe
We don't want to take away from the holiday.
thumb, or there should be no drunken
the
pool
first
tough
time
love.
that a thumb's been dislocated over someone on this show.
God, no.
No, that's true.
Not
Just so
even
you
this
know,
year.
that was not my fault.
No, I know.
That's what happens when you put 3 bills on a hollow-boned creature.
I only spiked the punch. I didn't force anyone to drink it. Speaking of that, Nick, the show I've been watching a lot of lately. Before we get to your do review, it's my new time waster. There's a show called My 600-Pound Life.
I heard you freaks muttering about that last week, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You were.
That's gross.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
What exactly
You
is
shouldn't
this
watch it.
about?
It's about all the things that Nick nightmares over.
Nick's Bane show.
It is. It is. I remember one time Nick told me, like, hey, make that nacho dip that your wife makes. We'll watch some football. And then he walked in on me making it. He went home.
A dry heave.
He's like, what are you doing with that brick of Velveeta and that whole container of sour cream? I'm like, I'm making that nacho dip you like.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
I'm diluting the Velveeta so that it's edible.
Right, I gotta cut the Velveeta with something, Nick.
Might as
would
well
you
be chili
suggest? Whole milk?
cheese.
I immediately started looking around your kitchen for a cat of nine's tails. Just
Straight up
lay
Opus
waste to
Dei
my
over
back.
the
Right,
nacho
just
dip.
to thrush yourself with.
right.
Ah, shit. That's so funny. You know what the funny thing is, what people probably at this point won't think is a surprise. There was a better than 62% chance that there was a cat of nine's tails in the kitchen.
I just couldn't find the fucker. It was underneath your other sink.
There was a real good chance that was going to be a thing that was just there and like a replica of Gimli's axe.
Mm-hmm. And an 11-inch dagger that once stabbed your kitchen table.
Yeah, that's true. About went through my fucking hand.
Some memories on that table. Yeah.
The chairs that go at that table are perfectly aligned to like crack your C6 lumbar region, which is not the same region at all. I'm pretty sure.
I was going with your story.
You're in that.
Lumbar's
you're
in the
an
bottom
anatomy
and the
wizard.
C's are up in the top, but yeah, that's a back crack. They're like chiropractic chairs.
Did you keep that chair and tables for the new house?
Yeah, they're in my basement.
Good.
They're actually Joe's. They were my gift to him as a wedding present, but then he moved to Frog's Hammer, Vermont.
Yeah.
Good old Frog's Hammer.
Couldn't take him with.
Not hammer, Rob.
I like Frog's Hammer better.
Frog's Hammer, North Dakota.
Yep.
They don't have opposable thumbs, frogs. They can't wield the hammer.
Throg did.
Never thought about that.
Yeah,
Throg
the
wielded,
the mighty.
He actually wielded Mjolnir, I believe. Rob, I'm spitting truth there, right? Wasn't he one of the like pet Avengers? Throg?
I think so. Let me take a look.
Pet Avengers.
Way to commit,
Yeah.
Rob.
Lockjaw from the Guardians of the
Because
Galaxy.
because the Pet
Inhumans?
Avengers seems like something that I would have gone out of my way for.
I'm pretty sure that Lockjaw, one of the Inhumans,
he wielded Frogmjolnir.
Mjolnir. So it wasn't Mjolnir.
No. I would
mule
like any of you to try and pronounce that.
What the fuck just happened? Why would you do that?
Why would you flog a mule deer?
Sounds fucking heartless.
Is that not what you call it?
There you go.
Just me?
Yeah, some people punch their clown, some people flog their mule deer.
It happens. No, come on. I want you guys to fucking give that a go. It's in the Skype chat. Yeah.
Is it in the Skype chat?
It's in the Skype chat.
I think it's Frog Jolnir.
It's not Mjolnir. It's Mjolnir.
Frog Jolnir?
It's got to be Frog Jolnir then. There is a sound in the middle of there that's hard to say with your tongue. That's for damn sure.
I am not well versed in, I guess, moving my tongue that away. That was a really weird sentence to say. Let's go ahead and go on to the next topic, shall we?
Speaking of Mjolnir,
Nick has a do review.
And the Pet Avengers.
Or he disappeared.
No?
Does Nick not want to talk about Marvel and his long-awaited, much-hyped rant?
All right, so I thumbed my mute button while I was carrying on. Sorry.
I thought you were flogging your mule deer.
You didn't want to hear it though.
Oh.
Yeah, if I'm correct, this show is going to be a little bit of a hodgepodge where we've got some current events, some best of. We're going to hopscotch around just a little bit, maybe take you guys across a few brief reminiscences of 2016 before we wrap it all up. Where to first?
Well,
you want to go to my problems?
Yeah, we're going long-awaited Marvel rant.
Well, it's anticlimactic now because the hate was strong 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's sort of like you left it on the stove and it simmered and then it started to scald and then it got stale. And then Rob wasn't here, and it's never as fun if I can't make the bear dance. So, but that said, we can warm up to our better and brighter things, Disney and Lucasfilm, by taking a few, kicks as it lays in the dirt to the Marvel universe, if and you want to.
I do want to.
This happened for a couple of reasons. It happened because I was a little late to the Doctor Strange review. I missed it by a week, but I did jump in there ready to have that conversation on this show with you guys a couple weeks back, and we skipped over it. And then when I was on sabbatical in Bienvenido a Miami at the seventh ring of Trump, on the plane, my iPad died, and so I was forced to dive into American Airlines entertainment options. And just out of sheer masochism, I decided I would watch a few bits of X-Men Apocalypse because it was the only kind of action-y thing, and I didn't want to watch whatever else was on there. And that's what started this all down the path, is that combination of Doctor Strange and X-Men Apocalypse. And me coming to the conclusion that Marvel, for all its good intentions, I think is coming apart at the seams and off the rails, and it'll still make plenty of money. That's all fine. This is from the side of either film critic / comic book enthusiast / Marvel fandom. So
wait, are we lumping X-Men and like MCU together? Because they don't really have control either of each other. I think they should be treated as separate properties.
No, either get together or fucking suffer together.
But that's not how we're bound by certain rules of this world. No. Like we live in reality.
Marvel needs to start paying the price for their shitty leasing out of their properties. They need to answer for the crimes of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Mans. No more passes for that shitty franchise. X-Men. It really started with X-Men because it's done so much. It's done so much good.
If you think about it.
Well, that's the thing. Is the first X-Men was a little. It looks a little hokey now in hindsight, but it was really a good movie, and it gets a pass on a lot of things because it was the first one to really, make the foray into this. And there's so much good about it, from some of the actors to some of the storylines. But as with all great things, they beat it to death. And through some highs and lows, it comes into this, steaming pile of whoopsie that is X-Men Apocalypse, which I knew was going to be bad going in, but I just figured, you know what, I can't bitch about something if I haven't, made myself endure it. And I was really surprised because the first hour of that movie is actually really good. It does a nice job of exposition. It makes it seem like it might actually have an interesting story ripple. And then the second hour completely implodes into just the same cliched tripe that it seems like all these movies have disintegrated into of late. Selling out just to kind of make a movie in the franchise. It's cheesy, horrible dialogue. The same tired end of the world chaos that you get in Man of Steel and Independence Day that you're seeing in all these movies. And I'm sitting there and it's sad, and I started to pull up some of the box office grosses for the last few years, and people are answering a little bit with their dollars. I mean, the numbers just aren't as good. And as a fan of a lot of these franchises, I just really, the franchise parts really got me. I really wish they would stop just churning out, money makers. That's a little bit of the purist in me. But X-Men in particular is just unthinkably bad. And
the problem that you have there, though, is you've got Fox, who's trying to keep on to the rights for the X-Men property, and the only way that they can do that is by creating more movies. That's not
their storylines don't even make sense.
That's fine. That's I would agree that they're starting to unravel at this point. But I would still say that you can't lump that in with the MCU or Disney. They're
you have to, and
different.
Here's why.
They're entirely different properties.
Before you go there, Nick, I'm actually going to agree with you in that at a certain point, while you can't lump it into the MCU as in the fact that it's actually not part of the MCU, the Marvel name is still attached to that property. And so eventually they have to start either taking their lumps for it or they need to just reacquire it.
Because they run the same Marvel, thumb speed comic intro to all these movies, whether it's X-Men or Avengers or whatever else.
You are not wrong, Rob. It is absolutely wholly separate from the MCU. But I do think at a certain point Marvel has to either they have to either take their lumps for the terribleness that is that franchise, or they have to get involved.
I mean, I would say that they have been getting involved. They've been distancing themselves from the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and all of the Fox properties for years now. They have absolutely been getting involved.
No, here, case in point, and here's what really kind of drove it home for me, is have any of you guys seen X-Men Apocalypse, by the way?
No. I have not, no.
Okay. Well, I'll just say that for my money, the best scene in the movie involves. Pardon me. I'm gonna look up some facts here to make sure I don't speak out of turn. 1 second.
I'd rather eat corn on the cob than see.
Than speak out of turn?
No, than see X-Men Apocalypse.
Well, that's the way I always was too.
I wouldn't have a problem watching it at the very least, so I have an opinion on it. And it's X-Men, so I'd like to give it a go. But
it's not part of the MCU, so it doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned.
Fair enough.
Well, all right. In X-Men Apocalypse, the best scene involved, and it's a really good scene in the first half of the movie, involves Evan Peters' character, Quicksilver. And the whole time he's doing his deal, which is awesome, all I keep thinking of is, you just killed this fucker in the last Avengers movie. You backwards ass clowns. You're pissing in the eye of anybody who really cares about Marvel and has a discriminating eye, that you just want to get that as a we're just supposed to just suspend total disbelief there.
If you were actually as discriminating an eye as you claim to be, you would have known that it was two different Quicksilvers in two different film franchises.
They share.
They're both Peter Maximoff,
but they're not the same actor. They're not the same.
Property. So you mean the actor's not dead?
No, like the same. They've
like
got
one
two
of them
different
is not
actors
even a
playing
mutant.
two different.
One of them,
Right.
yeah,
They're both as Peter Maximoff as Quicksilver. It's not as if it's two separate storylines of that same character.
Except that it is two separate storylines of that same character, because it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Fox, whatever the fuck they're doing over there at Fox Universe.
Then I still lay the bloody stool at the foot of Marvel. That's just sloppy and stupid.
But it's not.
They aren't the same company. They aren't the same production houses. I don't understand what the fuck you're not getting about that. Seriously. Like, it's not like Marvel has say over what Fox is doing.
It would be like
That's
me
Fox's
producing a
say.
Harry Potter book and you being pissed at J.K. Rowling because I wrote a bad Harry Potter book.
She would have given you the rights to do it.
She sold those rights forever ago in this scenario.
It's still sloppy.
You're a fucking idiot.
No, he's not. No, it's two different arguments. You're both right. You're both right. The problem that Marvel has is that Marvel's name is attached to every shitty X-Men movie.
Yeah, that is true. That is a problem for Marvel.
That's Marvel. Marvel has to own that, and they have to get involved in making those movies better, or it will begin to dilute their current brand.
The last four X-Men movies have been hit or miss financially.
I completely understand, Rob, that they're two completely different franchises, two completely different production houses, that Marvel sold the rights so they can keep their comic book company solvent, and now they wish they hadn't. But they have to get involved.
So how do you suggest they get involved? Both of you, I guess.
If I was Marvel, you have Disney just made $8 billion at the box office this year. And that's just at the box office. That's not in anything else.
Merchandise or anything.
Right. Cut Fox a check for $6 billion and they'll give you Marvel. They'll give you fucking X-Men back.
And Fox doesn't sell because they still have rights to X-Men franchises such as the video games.
But why just buy the movie rights? I mean, Sony still has the rights to Spider-Man.
And what if Fox doesn't want to play ball? Because otherwise they would have done that by now, I would think.
Fox
they have no desire to do that. That's why Marvel's been cutting them off. They've been distancing themselves for years.
Who owns Fantastic Four now?
That's still Fox.
Still Fox.
Yeah.
Because that's why they made that shitty movie.
They made that shitty one, but didn't revert afterwards.
The fact that they sold their rights for whatever reason.
I can't remember.
They kind of need to reap what they sow a little bit here, and it's just a little ugly.
The thing is, though, I don't think they're gonna reap what they sow because they made $8 billion at the box office this year, and there's no sign of that slowing down.
That's Disney. Not.
I don't understand.
I am so confused.
I don't understand what you're trying to even
fucking
get at anymore.
How is that? I don't.
Well, Disney owns Marvel, so Disney made the money. Marvel.
Yeah, they're all right. Here, let me pull up some. But
they're going to keep making a profit. Fox is the one making the money on the bad X-Men movies
and the bad Fantastic Four movies.
And it's not leaving any steaming pile of anything on Marvel's doorstep.
Because they're two separate companies with two separate franchises.
The thing is, though, it's going to leave.
That, guys, but most people don't know that it's that. I don't think most people know that Fox owns X-Men. They think of that as a Marvel entity, the films.
It's the same thing. It's the
And just so you know, their friend, I know you're giving them a pass, but now obviously it doesn't count DVD stuff, but box office wise, X-Men Apocalypse took a loss.
Okay.
Right. But that money wasn't going into Marvel's coffers anyway, or Disney's for that matter.
But it goes into their brand.
But they've killed every part of the brand except for the franchise that Fox owns. There aren't any Wolverine toys anymore. There aren't any Wolverine comic books anymore. There aren't any X-Men anything on the shelves that you can buy.
They've distanced
They've
themselves
killed that
entirely.
brand in every way except for the way that Fox is slowly killing it.
They don't produce any type of comic for that anymore?
No,
Nope.
The X-Men are dead.
No, they totally got rid of the X-Men when Fox refused to give them the rights.
It's just
Really?
the Inhumans now, which is what Peter and Maximoff were in Avengers. They're Inhumans. They're not mutants. They have been doing this for a long time. So I'm really curious as to what your argument is now.
The argument, Rob, it's not. Yes, they have been distancing themselves. Yes, they have been
So
stopping the
Marvel's
Fantastic
been doing
Four comic.
everything that he's been complaining and bitching about here. I'm not sure what else he's wanting them to do.
Distancing yourself is not. That's not what I'm saying at all.
And don't get me wrong, I'd love to see Marvel get the rights back.
Absolutely. I would love to see Marvel take over the X-Men franchise and Fantastic
Marvel
Four.
needs to get those rights back, come hell or high water, no matter what the price, because it's going to start to taint the brand.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Especially as they keep,
but if Fox isn't going to play ball, there's not a whole lot that you can do about that. They've already done everything that they can do at this point.
There's no such. You ever heard this? You ever heard the saying "everything's for sale"?
Yes.
Right. If Disney goes to Fox and says, "How would you like $8 billion for the rights to Fox?" and you can keep video games, you can keep fucking TV shows, we get the movie rights. Or you can.
Do we just assume that they haven't done that already? Like here's
the thing though, with all of the
hold on.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Are you just assuming that they haven't?
I'm absolutely not assuming they haven't. They've gone. They've been making these movies for this long. They've already done a crossover with Sony at this point.
You can't argue one side of the same argument without arguing the other one.
Yes, I can, because I'm arguing the side of the argument that I'm on.
The proof is that Marvel's been killing off all of the stuff, all of the Fox properties.
What motivation? Here's my question. What motivation does Marvel Disney have to reacquire the properties until they start losing money because their chickens have come home to roost? Their chickens haven't come home to roost yet. So they're not, there's no incentive to do it. They're not making money on the X-Men films. They're not losing money on the X-Men films because they're not the ones producing them. That's all Fox's bad, ugly baby at this point.
Yes. And at a certain point, having no action in this or waiting until your chickens roost, waiting until your chickens come home to roost is not the time to start figuring out how you're going to fucking get the chickens out of the roost. First of all, I mean, you don't put smoke detectors in your house as it's burning.
That's fair.
Okay.
Denying that.
So you have to have some sort of foresight in seeing that eventually it's going to taint the fucking brand. It's the same concept of if you're dating a chick and she's really cool, but you got this friend who keeps putting heroin in his arm. Eventually, you have to ditch the fucking heroin junkie, or you're going to lose the cool girlfriend. You can't wait until suddenly you can't wait until your girlfriend leaves you to get rid of the heroin junkie. So eventually, they have to. I think letting them try to wither at the vine and hurt them in other ways because they can't hurt their box office and they have no say over their production value. So let's kill off the X-Men in the comic books. Let's kill off the Fantastic Four. Let's not allow them to market toys during their Fantastic Four run. That's all pressure being put on them as leverage to try to acquire something back from Fox.
Mm-hmm.
because Marvel doesn't. If Marvel wasn't afraid of them tainting the brand, they would do everything they could to let them succeed at their movies, and they're not. So they are worried about their brand being tainted because they're making shit movies, and their name is attached to the front of it, even though they have nothing to do with it. So at a certain point, this business entity that is Disney and Marvel is trying to do something to acquire them, but they're not doing enough to acquire them. Which is why I'm saying they need to go to the table with an offer. They need to Godfather them. They need to make an offer that Fox can't possibly refuse. And if that is, you get to keep all of the rights, but we also get the rights, just like they did with Spider-Man. You know, we get to use Spider-Man in our properties, but we get to oversee you making new movies, Sony, with Spider-Man and the properties because you own them. We just get a play in that sandbox. They need to make an offer that they can't refuse, or it will come crashing down on them at some point. And that's what I think Nick's point is. But you're both right. It's just I think you're dancing around the fucking thing.
Well, I don't see how it's going to come crashing down. Like that's the part that I don't see.
Well, financially, it's not. Obviously, I mean, it's too
crashing
mainstream now.
down?
If you look at the plan that's laid out through like 2022, like for the foreseeable future, it's not going to come crashing down around their heads.
Crashing down, no. I mean, they could just make these movies for fun, based on the fact that they own the Lucasfilm rights now. I mean that can fund all their projects for the next 20 years. So it's not a literal argument. It's I wish that there would be some sort of penalty to pay for them for everything Ryan said, plus just shotgunning it. And part of that came out of being very underwhelmed by Doctor Strange. And after being really excited about it. And the box office speaks there. You know, it's barely broken even, which is an anomaly for a Marvel entity. And I think that's going to play out in Black Panther. I think it's going to play out in the next Thor. I think until Infinity Wars, I suspect that they're going to not hit a lot of home runs. And I think that they have made that hit for average roster right now, and I'm just not happy with it from a geeky sort of perspective.
That's
not
fair.
Even being a comic book guy.
I actually don't have a problem with that revised argument.
Actually, I got a question for Rob.
Mm-hmm. What's up?
I just knew Rob would get pissed because his innate inability to see beyond the scope of Marvel Pocket Pool would make it a more enticing argument. Let alone that I think DC might even overtake them cinematically in the next 5 years. But
Rob, what do you think about them moving Inhumans off the movie slate and giving them a TV show? Especially since their TV shows are subpar in comparison to the movies.
I would disagree with that statement if we're including the Netflix material.
ABC TV show, or are they making it a Netflix TV show?
It's an ABC TV show.
So which makes me I'm worried about it. I don't think that it's good for the Inhumans franchise, especially whenever it seemed like they were going to be putting such an emphasis on them. Now, if it was going to Netflix or something along those lines, I would have more faith. But their ABC game is like
does that mean they're going to be putting
strong.
less? They're going to be putting less emphasis in the movies, obviously on the Inhumans, but then also have they made a decision that we don't have to explain how people have powers in this universe? People are just going to take for granted that they do, and we don't have to ever explain that.
They may, or they very well may just wait until after the Infinity Wars to start really having to deal with the Inhumans. Because, I mean, at that point in time, the Inhumans are going to have been, sprinkled in and around the MCU for quite some time.
It's just so goddamn saturated. I want to like it. I want to really like all the different properties. I do, because I dig so much of that stuff, but it's so goddamn saturated. There's so many characters. There is so many spinoffs, and I don't know. stuff starts off so good. Like Daredevil was so good, and then it just subsequently gets shittier. And the Iron Man series started off so good and subsequently gets shittier. I'm afraid that Infinity Wars is going to fall flat, which would be really pissy and anticlimactic because there's so much good stuff there. And a la the X-Men side of it, they started off so good, and now it's just sort of it's fallen in on itself. Maybe the next Spider-Man reboot, but I'm not going to see it because it's just been a dickless franchise for its entire run. So I'm a little salty about it.
When did Iron Man come out? Or what are they counting as the first official MCU? It was it the Hulk?
I believe it was the Hulk
Hulk
officially.
Which version of it though?
No, I'm pretty sure
Ed Norton's Hulk.
I'm pretty sure Iron Man is considered the first MCU film.
Yeah, 2007, 2008, somewhere around there.
Okay, so we've been going 8 years now. Has it been 20 movies?
Close to it. At least 2 a year. Maybe not. Maybe like 12 movies.
Well, it's let's say
2 Thors, 3 Iron Mans, 3 Captain Americas, 2 Avengers,
an Ant-Man, a Doctor Strange,
yeah,
and a Hulk.
And official Hulk, yeah.
We've been everything we've seen so far has been building up to Infinity Wars.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy also. Mm-hmm.
Guardians of the Galaxy, and now there's going to be another Thor. A Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, there's Thor doesn't get a standalone.
Sure does.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok
coming out.
I'm sorry. You said Thor. I was thinking Hulk. You're right. Sorry.
So there's going to be 3 more movies before Infinity Wars. Everything building up to Infinity Wars. Can you imagine if Infinity Wars doesn't blow it out of the box? Let's think of the buildup and money and time invested for something that isn't literally the tent pole of the franchise.
Yeah, it's got to be good.
I kind of want, maybe that's part of it, guys. I want to see them step on their dick because I think they hit their apex with the first Avengers. And I'm not excited to see Guardians 2. I'm not excited for Thor Ragnarok. I'm not excited for the next Amazing Spider-Man. I'll certainly go see Infinity Wars when it comes out, probably, because I just won't be able to not. But it's poopy. I was really wishing I loved Doctor Strange more than I did, and that gave me pause, and that's what started this whole sort of spin out of control.
I think it's a shame you didn't like it more than you did.
It's not that I didn't like it. I mean, it is good, and I'm a big Bendercoot Cumbersnatch fan. Mm-hmm. But the part of the problem is that
he was on my TV as you said that. By the way, that was fucking weird.
Perfect timing.
I didn't even know he was in Black Mass.
He becomes less himself with that fake American accent. I realize that they're trying to stay true to the story, but that sucks some of the life out of it for me. I'm sure that was very true to the comic storyline, the movie, from as I understand it. But they obviously had to move the story along quickly. But I thought it moved too fast. I thought Inception did all that shit better. I thought it was a little bit.
Do we wonder
too
why
super.
They didn't just make Stephen Strange British? Everything.
I don't know.
I never thought
Cumberbatch. I mean, it just wasn't doing it for me. He's not as good of an actor with a fake accent as he is normally, and he's awesome. I love his work. But the second half of that movie, I felt like I had seen it before, and I felt like I liked it better when it was Patrick Swayze learning how to kick the can down the subway. And sort of
Rob, would that have bothered you?
If he was Patrick Swayze?
No, Stephen Strange is British.
I would have been really impressed if he was Patrick Swayze.
But goddamn right, I would have bought that on DVD.
I don't think so. I don't see any reason why it would have. Me either. In the comic books, he's not British, but if they wanted to do a British Doctor Strange, then they would.
Well, he could still be American with a British accent. I don't give a shit. Just let the guy talk. I mean, fucking.
Just let the fucker talk.
Connery has been Scottish 19 different nationalities over the years. Nobody seems to piss about that.
I do have not to drastically pivot, but On
But
Movie
you will.
Podcast Weekly this week, Jason brought up a question of ethics that I would like to ask you guys, and it actually segues into this here with you guys mentioned Swayze. What do you think about bringing dead actors back to life via CGI?
I think you should.
In Rogue One, we got to see Peter Cushing's Grand Moff Tarkin as if he didn't die in 1992.
Whoa! Spoiler alerts!
Oh, stop! You knew he
There's
was
a
in the
trailer that has him in it.
Shut up, you Gingy.
I wouldn't have known it was CGI.
But no,
Oh.
seriously, I mean, do you think there's anything ethically
As
adverse
long
to
as
that?
the family is okay with it
Hey,
and getting some sort of cut.
Tupac was at Coachella last year. I
Yeah.
knew that, so.
As far as I'm concerned, as long as the family's okay with it and is getting some sort of
I think
Money's
that's
for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
then yeah, absolutely. We've come that
Yeah,
far
no
in
problem with
technology. We might as well.
I mean, to a limit, right? I mean, if they're doing something that's disrespectful to the actor,
Yes,
You know,
obviously.
like that would be wrong. But
Unless,
yeah, if you
again,
bring back John Belushi to, take it in the butt in a prison scene, that's probably not cool.
Right.
well, especially when you just have Jim Belushi there and he'd be much cheaper.
Right. He'll probably pay you for the opportunity. By the way, set hard pivot to 2-3 weeks ago. Jim Belushi takes the place of somebody on my list of 5 pseudo celebrities to fight for charity.
excellent.
What now?
Also,
with
Tony
that
Robbins.
With that being said, though, with the news that came out today that Sylvester Stallone will direct, write, and star in Expendables 4, the last
Right.
of the franchise.
Sure.
Why in the world is Swayze not in that?
CGI sways?
I was going to say because Stallone has no imagination.
That
You
Fair.
like literally, he
I-
actually does not have an imagination.
I take total umbrage with that because he's made 3 Expendables now, and those are the most goddamn imaginative things I've seen on television.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Have you ever seen the one with Chuck Norris?
I haven't seen any of them.
Where he just inexplicably shows up in scenes like we're all out of ammo.
That is funny.
If we could only kill that one guy that's hidden behind the dumpster, and then you hear like guitar riff, and then you look up in the fucking hills, and like 3 miles away is Chuck Norris with like the biggest rifle you've ever seen, and he shoots the dude, and then he does like a fist
Hat
pump.
tip.
And
Is
then
he dressed as Walker Texas Ranger?
And then
or-
pretty much. And then
Excellent.
Swayze fist pumps him back as if he could see the guy 3 miles away. It's fucking incredible. And he doesn't have a name in the movie, but he's credited as like Chuck Norris as Desert Wolf. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? But why isn't, if that's the case, then why isn't Swayze in the Expendables?
It's a
I
really
don't
good
think
question.
has Swayze ever used a firearm in a movie?
Well, no.
He's used his dragon fist and he's used a crossbow.
And the power of ghosts.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's used his dragon fist and a crossbow.
hashtag next.
I don't know
of
why
kin.
you need anything else, to be honest with you.
I don't know why I'm
You
not
don't.
making it to where that's the only thing you can put on my gravestone.
Here lies a man who spoke with his dragon fist and a crossbow.
And a crossbow.
Yep. When you're Googleizing me, if you
See,
could believe-
if this was a thing we were doing, which was CGI bring back / give Stallone a plot line, to have P Swizzle, excuse me,
really
show up in
confused how Taylor
Expendables
Swift
4
factor.
and throat rip a guy.
I think it's
that would be
P-Swazzle.
tremendous.
But and you don't. He's not a main character. It just he needs to like all of a sudden he needs to be like Stallone gets to pick his champion in the fucking street fight. So he fucking does like snaps his fingers and out walks like late 80s tight pants Swayze with the big hair.
He doesn't wear tight pants, Broseph.
Yes, he does. The tightest of pants.
Tight pants.
Rob, make a fist. Make it now. Put it in your mouth.
There's sometimes I fish for Nick. Sometimes I don't catch him.
Yeah, the fishy.
No, there was actually, it was neat. It was, I thought it was a cool question that he asked, Piles. And then I actually saw an article asking the same question. And it just got me thinking. I don't know the.
I mean, you could even do a thing like bring Whoopi Goldberg into it, and she just kind of stands there and zones out.
Is she dead?
No.
I don't believe so.
Oh, you're doing a ghost thing.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing a ghost thing.
Hey, Jason
Nice.
Piles, thanks for not having me on the show in like the last 9 months, you prick. Shout out.
Well, hey, what you could do, coming up here at the end of the year, next week, we're actually recording the biggest show of the year. It's our top 10 of the year list show. And so you can email Jay by Christmas Eve, your top 10. Your top 10 list will be weighted and aggregated into the listener score. And just by sending us your top 10, you can win anything from a $50 Amazon gift card to my number one movie of 2016.
Which was?
I would love to own Bone Tomahawk.
Oh, that was 2015, and it was not my number one.
mistake.
It was my number 3.
Yeah.
I believe my number 3, maybe my number 4. I can't tell you what my number 1 was at this point. I mean, that would.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry.
There's still
The
some time
still
left.
shots in the gallery in IMDb for Roadhouse makes my heart flutter.
Because you're sexually attracted to Patrick Swayze?
Who is
No,
it?
to Sam Elliott.
Oh, yeah.
Fair.
Jesus. If I could look like anybody when I'm that
Right?
age, because I don't know how old he is. He should have been
Doesn't
dead of
matter.
old age like 4 years ago. But his heart beats on.
Strongly
You should have
than
said
ever.
that quieter. 2016 could have been listening.
No shit.
Yeah, fucking leave him alone.
My fault. That's a good point. Ah, shit. Well, I'd talk about Rogue One, but it seems like 2 of us haven't seen it.
Weak sauce.
What?
You thought it was weak?
No, I'm the weak sauce on them not seeing it. It's been out for
I
almost a whole
saw
week.
it. I saw it. It was shit.
Oh, you are such a critic.
And by shit,
What
I
did you-
mean fucking flawless.
Ah, there it is. There it is.
You liked it then?
It's fucking what's up.
Yes.
God bless you. You had me really worried. Like you had your inner child locked underneath the stairs.
I can even endure some of the cheese that is sprinkled in. I granted a full pardon.
Wow.
I'm Reagan on my last week of office. I'm fucking giving presidential pardons for all sorts of stuff. I thought it was really fucking kick-ass.
Well, good.
There you go.
And shot
There you
it
go.
was shot the right way. It was true in its homage to that time period of a fake movie, meaning A New Hope.
What did you think about stuff like retconning in the exhaust port on the Death Star?
Say it again.
Well, I'm just the general thoughts about the movie. The fact, for years people have been saying like, why in the world would you build this space station that can blow up planets but have a little exhaust port in a fucking trench that if you shoot a missile down it, it'll blow the whole thing up? That seems like
Thought
an
it was fucking
oversight.
sweet.
What do you think
Thought
about
it was
the fact that
fucking tremendous.
they retconned that answer into the story?
Tremendous. The way they even set it up was even actually plausible, which for a Lucasfilm entity post 1984
Was it
is awesome.
Was it the answer that was the original answer from the original script? Was the architect just in the bathroom with bad diarrhea when they were having that meeting? Or
Yeah.
okay.
Yep, that's it, Joe. That's what they
I
did.
just
That's
wondered.
exactly it. He had a case of the whoopsies, and the Empire falls.
I
Gotcha.
thought the director, Gareth Edwards,
Yeah.
I thought he made J.J. Abrams look weak.
Yes. Like that.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I there was a lot to love about the last Star Wars, so I'm not going to bag on
No.
Force Awakens was
I
solid.
like The Force Awakens a lot, but this one this one honestly could be my favorite Star Wars movie, and then like
right up there.
Empire Strikes Back being like a second now. Like I
It's
really did
up
enjoy this movie, everything about it.
I like the fact that it's episode 3.9.
Yes. Like
I
I
loved
all the way up
loved Vader's
it
final
was
scene.
great.
Fuck me.
That's
He's brutal.
It was horrifying.
It's so, God damn, there's so much to there. You can almost, how much time would I dedicate to this? There's so much to like. I thought that again, I get that it's a fucking CGI fantasy movie, you fuckos, but the aerial combat scenes were fucking fantastic. The visuals of planetary surfaces and impacts, the peripheral action was great. I really liked what they did with the storyline.
I rather like
you guys know I'm cynical, and at no point was I sitting there really thinking, well, that's a fucking reach.
Yeah, which is good. I'm with you. I really enjoyed it. I thought it flowed together very well, and there weren't any glaring plot holes. It was a very well written film, in my opinion. Like and it just hit a lot of just nostalgia spots too, but it didn't feel like The Force Awakens to a certain extent, where it was trying to hit those nostalgia spots. The references were tastefully done.
Yeah, I'll back you up on that. They really kind of let it be its own standalone, and the places where the plot, made little brief interchanges, a la Jimmy Smith's character and the CGI flashbacks. Then, of course, the closing kind of segue. I just thought that really hit the mark.
Mm-hmm.
K2SO was pretty badass.
Oh, he was great,
and that's exactly what. It's exactly what 4, 5, and 6 missed on, trying to find that non-human sort of pseudo-comic, lovable, sacrificial lamb kind of character. I thought they nailed that perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I was even the jokes. They were clearly kind of forcing them, but they for a Lucasfilm Star Wars world entity, I thought they actually were. Really,
it was
well
better
written.
than Bantha farts.
Yes,
so much better. I thought Diego Luna was fantastic.
Yes,
just fantastic.
They made me, and I understood going into it that they couldn't give me enough character development to necessarily like fall in love with or be saddened at their demise. I mean, these are characters that are introduced in this movie and are only in this movie,
Right.
There was no emotion. There was no real emotional connection to them. But they made me want to know so much fucking more about those characters in that small sample size that I just like. There won't be any more movies of them going forward, but that's not saying they can't have movies of them going backwards. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'd be okay with it as a standalone.
I totally would too. I absolutely would too. But if I got a chance to see
Ryan
Cassian
means is just
Andor,
kind of like a slip. Like if they like the Han Solo movie being something that's going to take place in the dark times. Like maybe you see Galen Merrick walk in the background in one scene, and that's in an Imperial Academy, and then that's that.
Or even
something,
or even Captain Andor and his like crack squad of assassins and saboteurs, playing some sort of role in something. I mean, even just a series of novels I would read about them, because they weren't enough to make me have like the like when they die, I wasn't like
spoilers.
Like, well, fuck, come on.
Some of them die. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, but don't you know?
None of them were Bothans.
No,
Look at
none of
you,
them.
Al.
That's a whole other question for next episode. Is the Bothan name? But let's leave that for right now.
That was the second Death Star.
Right, it was the second Death Star.
I don't even understand why that's anybody's problem. That's not.
It shouldn't be, but I've also made that mistake. So
Yeah, it's an easy mistake to make if you're
a casual,
if people bring
a
it up
filthy
lot.
plebe.
Yeah.
if you have a bad haircut.
Hey, how many of these characters were in Star Wars Rebels? Was it just the one?
Saw
none of
Gerrera,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Guerrero wasn't in Rebels.
There was
Guerrero was in Clone
actually
Wars.
the droid from Rebels was in a scene
That is
at
true.
one of the Rebel hangars, and the ship from Star Wars Rebels was also in the big.
That is also true.
Gotcha.
The
Is
big space battle.
Rebels still on?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay, so these characters could feasibly show up then in Rebels.
There was
I
also.
mean, you might not get a film, but
Correct.
There was like an intercom message that went on at one of the rebel bases too that was calling for like a General Shindula or something like that. Syndulla, yeah. That's Hera from the Ghost, the ship from Rebels as well.
gotcha.
So she's gonna at least survive through Rebels and make it to that point in the war.
Some
Cool. So these
stuff that
characters exist, so that's the thing.
some stuff to nitpick, since it wouldn't be me if I didn't.
That's true.
Not loving Forrest Whitaker. Also wishing I hadn't watched any episodes of The Night Of prior to watching this movie. That tainted me.
I thought Forrest Whitaker's role was like
the character. The character I like. I just
what was with the oxygen mask and the fucking
sinister
Gene Wilder
background
hair.
music. Yeah, I get that he's a little, shell shocked, but whatever.
I didn't get a lot of that character at all.
I mean,
love
he
the
was kind
casting.
of like a rebel extremist.
Yeah, he's. I heard him described as like the rebel Darth Vader.
I don't know if I would go that far, but he's definitely
I've never seen Clone Wars.
He's just a gorilla,
Yeah, a very, very extreme freedom fighter.
I like the casting of Donnie Yen.
Oh yeah, and Baze.
That character is cool. There was a little bit almost too much action, I think, in the middle of the movie. I could have done with it being, a quieter build up, to the end. There was kind of some almost sort of forced in combat scenes there that was like, okay, that's fine, but not too painful. But I could have done with less. And I've got pretty significant Mads Mikkelsen fatigue right now.
That happens.
It's substantial.
Wait till he's cast as Victorian Greyjoy next season.
Hopefully.
Can't wait.
Oh boy.
So that Ilaria Sand can stab him with a
some sort of eating utensil, like a cocktail
or something.
Maybe he'll stab his brother's eye out.
Right. He'll just fall off his boat and drown from the weight of his
that's
armor.
actually it. That's actually what'll happen. You're a Star Wars guy, Rob.
I like to think so. A little bit.
What kind of weapon did Baze use?
A fucking sweet one.
It was like a
it is.
backpack vacuum cleaner.
It was
He's
like
got the
some kind of.
He's got the modified Jesse Ventura Predator.
It was a Ghostbusters plasma pack.
That's what it was.
Modified to be used with the Force.
But it occasionally manifests into like a pump action sort of
Right.
deal.
Sometimes it was pump action. Sometimes it was chain fed.
Right, fully auto, just Reaper.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it was some
he
kind
could fire
of,
from the hip with the same accuracy as when he uses like when he takes a deep breath and says the Lord's Prayer.
There was a few questionables there, but hey, I'm okay with it.
I also don't know why no one else is using that weapon. It's kind of what I'm getting at.
Where do I
kind
get
of was
one
a
of those?
motherfucker.
Right, where do I get the sweet pack? But instead, Donnie Yen's going to use
a stick.
a boomstick.
Wasn't a Jedi. Definitely Force sensitive.
I don't know if he wasn't a Jedi. Like, was
And
not at
possibly
that
autistic.
point. But I mean that. I don't know. The way that they worded it, whenever they asked if he was a Jedi, left it just open enough.
Is he a Jedi? Like Tano
Like
is a
not
Jedi?
like Jedi Knight, like probably Padawan or something like that had gone into hiding. But
Well, he did.
Well, they were all there, supposedly guarding the temple. So maybe there's some more backstory there.
Was one of Darth Vader's Horcruxes in the temple?
it was not. However,
no,
I
it
wonder
was,
if that wasn't. I still wonder if that wasn't like the what they're going to use the reference point for the homeworld of the Jedi.
What?
I'm not sure. I don't understand what question you're asking, or even what the statement means.
Jeddah, where they found Chirrut and Baze.
Right.
It
What-
was
what
just a
about it?
former temple.
Do you think that? I mean,
I don't know
It
the
was
phrase, "the
definitely at the
homeworld of
very
the Jedi"
least a
means.
former Jedi temple from long
Yavin
ago.
4 was the original Jedi temple. It was on Yavin 4. That's what the Alliance inhabits. Is the
No, that was a
remains
Sith
of the
temple.
original.
That's not a Jedi temple. Positive. I'm right. No, there's not even sort of disputing this. I know that I'm right.
What kind of temple was it, Rob?
It was a Sith temple. It was founded by
Sith
Exar
temple.
Kun.
Well, since you pulled a name out of your ass, I'm hesitant to argue.
You know what though? To be fair, it is a Star Wars. Everybody pretend with deadly confidence. Be Rob right now, name dropping a Sith no one else.
Go
has
for
heard of. Joe, you go first.
Sorry, I'm laughing too hard. Give me a second here. Let me compose myself.
It was a Sith temple. It was found by Bannicus Mar.
Boom.
Right after he stole the life force of Selexon Torment.
Right. Who was
That's a good one.
the Padawan to
Darth Angle.
Sarth Generalis?
Well, as I know that Rob is
Darth
a stickler
Sarth is by far my favorite right now.
Darth Sarth. I know Rob is a real stickler for the approved universes. So I know that at some point it became a Jedi
Legends
training
now,
temple,
but it's even in the new canon, it's still a Sith temple.
No, because I know they incorporated some of. Actually, I don't know now what they made as the total canon. I know in some of the books, though, that's where Luke was training.
I don't disagree with that. Still a Sith temple.
Well, it would not currently be a Sith temple if there's a Jedi training academy there. Fuckface, but it could have been originally a Sith temple. I can't dispute you at this moment.
Okay.
Luke Skywalker established his Jedi praxim in the temple in 11 ABY.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alcohol by Yavin.
Alcohol by
Yep.
Yavin. Which is,
That's a new pair of pants I'm wearing.
wow, those fit really nice. What are those?
Alcohol by Yavin.
Alcohol by Yavin.
Yavin. Yavin is my. I swear to you now.
Not later.
He is my go-to clothing designer from now on.
I like
my
it.
boy.
He also does colognes, as they all do. Like, what are you wearing? Well, that's Darth Sarth by Yavin. It's encouragement by Yavin.
We're gonna have to go back in and plug in and edit for some spoiler alerts for this episode, because that's a bit of deep dive Star Wars talk for a relatively new film.
I'll put a spoiler alert in there. I'll do it before the show. I'll say, for those of you who are little pants wetters and can't get their ass to go see Rogue One, there's some spoilers in there for Rogue
So
One.
beware.
That's what I'll say at the front of the show.
You know what's interesting? Well, amongst many things, is the as yet untitled episode 8. for next year. Gareth Edwards is one of the stars in that movie, not the director.
Yes.
I find that's interesting.
And Benicio del Toro is in that movie.
As the collector?
Hopefully.
Yes, as the collector. Which would be fucking awesome.
I thought Grievous died back in like Clone Wars.
Ha.
I'm glad you got that, Rob.
I did.
It would be awesome if he was the collector. That would make like Howard the Duck is sitting there talking to Princess Leia.
How many Star Wars character hands does he have?
I don't understand your question.
Like, does he have Luke's hand, Anakin's hand, both of Darth Sidious's hands?
He has Darth Vader's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's playing a Sith villain.
Benicio is?
Yeah. Well, according to these notes, I mean, it's not proven.
Quick, Rob, name him.
Asajj Ventress.
Arca Jeth.
Arca Jeth. That's probably correct. It's probably exactly what his name is.
I wouldn't be terribly surprised.
I think you'll be correct, but you'll have spelled it differently than they will.
Yeah, they're going to P-mod the shit out of it.
Yes, they'll have a C in there. Yours had a hard K sound.
Yeah. Or they'll go with like the KHA and then throw in 6 vowels. And uno.
Literally P-modding it.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people are in Black Mass that are in other shows that you've seen?
All of them?
Jesus Christ.
Black Mass, the movie?
Yeah, the sheriff from Stranger Things.
Sheriff Viking?
Yeah. Yeah. The congressman / governor from the first season of House of Cards who kills himself in Black Mass.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good God. All
Johnny
these people
Depp.
for such a shitty movie?
Yeah.
There's a Sarsgaard in there?
There is a Sarsgaard in there.
There's a 6th Degree Bacon in there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Adam Scott?
Yeah. Adam Scott in a mustache, by the way.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's very star-studded. You could 6 degrees of Bruce Willis hard through this movie.
But you know what happens? Director nobody's ever heard of.
Well, that's probably why the movie was shitty. Who was the director?
Scott Cooper.
That might be it. What else?
It's a Johnny Depp vehicle, so those two things mean together equals.
Was it? Did it just come out that he was 2016's most
overpaid
actor like for like 3 years in a row?
Yeah, he hasn't had anything of note in like 11 years.
No, but he still commands like 20 mil.
Oh yeah. Still a good actor, just he overacts and has been playing the same fucking role since Edward Scissorhands. He doesn't overact. No, neither does De Niro. Sorry, Pacino.
They're interchangeable. You ever seen Heat? Yeah. It's like watching the same movie with the same people.
Or
we should just have a movie
Vegas one they're in?
Where they swap lives and see if anybody notices.
It would be a great.
What a fucking donkey stretch!
Like a Freaky Friday with De Niro and Pacino.
Yes.
Depp has turned out in just the last 10 years. This is his string of fucking whoop whoops. Sweeney Todd, Alice in Wonderland, multiple Pirates of the Caribbeans. Another fucking.
Zorro.
He was in Yoga Hosers? I have to go back. Mordecai, Transcendence.
Mordecai.
That
Lone
was
Ranger.
Oscar worthy.
Was
the
he
Paul
in
McCartney movie? Dark Shadows.
The Libertine.
Jack. Oh God, Jack and Jill.
He was in Jack and Jill.
Apparently, according to his bio, I didn't see it.
Jeez.
Is that a movie about
Rango?
Tales of Water?
I think that was a Jim Carrey movie.
No, it's
it was an Adam
vehicle.
Sandler playing the
Transgender
twins.
episode. Good Christ.
I may call this the transgender episode, just so you know.
And Willy Wonka and then the 6 Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
20 mil movie.
What a lineup.
20 mil.
Yeesh. He's in that cruise bucket.
Speaking of spoilers.
Oh, hey.
I mean, he is also Gellert Grindelwald, so.
Right.
Who?
True.
Gellert Grindelwald.
What?
Yeah. And it was revealed at the end of Fantastic Beasts 1 and will probably culminate in Fantastic Beasts 5. Speaking of bloated franchises.
Weren't we? Oh. So there.
What a great comment.
Ryan, you've been geeking on anything? Wait, we have more stuff to talk about?
No, we got.
It's almost Christmas. Okay.
I know.
By the time everybody listens to this,
hey, and I. Speaking of Christmas, I'll have to tell you what I got for Christmas when we reconnoiter because it's really good stuff.
Shocking.
Was it Malort?
Oh God!
No. I said it's very.
Is that is that classified as a good thing?
Right. You must have heard
Joe's book.
Liquid tuberculosis.
If someone wants to send me some Malort,
you don't actually drink Malort.
No, because I don't have any.
Even if you had some,
I'll send you some, and I'll find it on your cupboard shelf when I come there for your son's high school graduation.
It'll be probably half empty by then, but.
Okay. No. Let's put that in the context. This is a guy who says, I drink Malort.
I'm just kidding.
And Nick says, I'll send you a bottle and I'll find it half empty at your son's, that doesn't exist, high school graduation at least 12 years after he turns 5.
Yes.
So let's put the timetable on that. And then Joe ends that with saying, it'll be half gone.
Yep.
Meaning that in about 22 years, he's drank half a bottle of Malort. And this is a guy who
loves Malort.
Yes.
Now imagine if you give Malort to a guy who wants nothing to do with Malort.
Oh, it would take me much longer.
Shit would sit there.
I promise you.
I'm glad you put that in the right context. Yes, that's.
It would take me far longer.
Real quick exercise here before we geek read. If you have your Google device open,
no, I can't.
IMDb, look up Black Mass, and then in the search, see what comes up just under the Johnny Depp Black Mass.
Holy shit. No, it doesn't.
Why did I see that one at the box office?
Has anybody else found it besides me?
Black Mass of the Nazi Sex Wizard.
What?
From 2015.
Animated.
Black Mass of the
Director,
Nazi Sex Wizard.
Lucifer
Any
Valentine.
shoes that's on Amazon Prime?
Writer, Lucifer Valentine.
Shut up.
I found it by accident. I know nothing.
Can I read to you the little blurb?
I'd be insulted
Please.
if you didn't.
In this demonic labyrinth, we experience the satanic ritual, which spawns endless incarnations of Angela Aberdeen as she is doomed to live out her haunted existence of the eternal lost girl. One dark, cold Christmas night, we enter Angela's kingdom of hell and witness her tortured mutations as we descend deeper into her satanic netherworld of the Black Mass of the Nazi Sex Wizard.
And it scores a 5.7.
Genre horrors. Well,
I gotta be honest.
How many people reviewed it? Is it just that one? That
I didn't
said
even
that
know
exact
a
thing?
Tannis
38 reviews.
What the shit?
No critic reviews. Possible
I
do
have to
review
see
for
this.
2017.
There are user reviews. Would you like the one user review?
Yes, please.
Vomit, gore, and Christmas. This movie is sickening and relentless, though rather repetitive. Valentine's style seems to be improving, The soundtrack and cinematography are pretty good, and the consistency is maintained despite the bizarre subject matter. This movie also doesn't spend time on pornographic digressions that reduce the tension. That said, the rapid cuts intended to disorient soon become tiring, and some shots are too long or clear, revealing the effects of a ludicrously fake. Though this is probably not unintended. Of course, there isn't much here to decipher plot-wise, but this movie succeeds in doing what it's intended. 7 out of 10.
Jesus.
Who is in this? What actors? There's an actor named
Sister
Jane
S.
Gloom.
Chalice.
My
Heather
favorite.
Cage. Yesenia Black.
Is it of the Nazi sex wizard or
Sadie
and the
Blood
Nazi sex wizard?
Slave.
My 2 favorite cast members in any movie ever
Hank
are in
Skinny.
this movie.
Hank Skinny and Sadie Bloodslave.
Sadie Bloodslave and Hank Skinny. You're
Mhm.
goddamn right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what,
you
and
know,
what would you like
it's
to be billed
suspect when
as?
the cast has no photographs.
Other films that Lucifer Valentine has directed: Slow Torture Puke Chamber and Black Metal Veins.
Shut the fuck
Shockingly
up.
not.
I don't believe you.
I found my new favorite director. I think.
Hold on. He's
Oh,
also
Lucifer.
known for slaughtered vomit dolls.
Oh yeah. Regurgitated sacrifice.
August.
Maybe we should move on from this.
No.
I'm sorry.
People who
just-
like this also liked August Underground's Mortem.
I don't.
I don't know what it means either.
I am 100% booking this motherfucker for next season.
Who, Lucifer?
Lucifer Valentine.
Fucking
Yeah.
A.
I'm going to have him bring Hank Skinny.
Hank Skinny and his favorite soup recipe.
Right. And Sadie Blood Glove, or whatever her name is. Oh, yes. Good find, Nazi sex magic.
Hey, Joe,
Yes.
you get to be first.
Sweet. I have been continuing my read through of the Harry Potter series.
Oh, nice.
And man, am I picking up stuff that I'd never picked up before. So it's good. I'm about more than halfway through the 6th book now. And man, Harry is an insufferable prick of a character.
Yes.
Insufferable?
Yep. Utterly.
Okay.
So I think I was still a teenager the last time I read this, so I didn't notice it before because I was also probably an insufferable prick. More than I am now.
No, it's the
He's
same.
a little douchey.
Yeah. So, well, it's that, I think, being 16 thing.
Oh,
So,
that never
Yeah.
happens to anybody.
mm-mm.
Ugh.
But yeah, it's good. I'm really, really enjoying it. So, overall, I mean, it's just and trying to keep in mind the stuff from the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text. So I'm trying to read with a little bit more meaning in each thing, a little more mindfulness. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. So,
Cool.
Nice.
yeah. Nick, how about you? What are you geeking on this week?
I have been on the road a bit, shockingly. So, based on our fun conversation last week from the Earwolf guys, I've been going back into some Dan Carlin's hardcore history. I'd gotten away from it for a little while. I was playing around some other podcasts, but I enjoy it a lot. And I've had a lot of windshield time, so those are kind of longer episodic journeys. So, really reappreciating my man Dan Carlin and some hardcore history, and definitely diving deep into the Christmas spirit, doing stuff with the kids, scoping out lights and going and seeing displays and getting ready for that time. So obviously, as this is coming to airwaves, we're going to be right on the verge of big holiday there. So Dan Carlin and some Christmas spirit is where I'm at right now.
Nice.
Rob, how about yourself? What have you been geeking on?
I have actually been watching Deadwood for the first time, and so I've
so
been
good.
What a great show.
Oh, wow.
slamming through it. I'm almost finished with the second season now. It's been a fucking riot. I really, really enjoy it.
Some good
Doc and
characters
Swear
there.
Engine, by far my favorite characters. But it was that, and then I've also recently got Necropolis, and I've been playing the ever-living shit out of that.
Hey, where'd you get that?
On the PlayStation Store. On the
Okay,
the
you didn't
PlayStation.
go to like Best Buy or something.
Nope. Just picked it up right there. I think the
Okay.
GameStop also has a copy, but yeah, you can just go to the PlayStation Store and pick it up. That's where I got mine.
All right.
And please do, because then I will have somebody to play with, and I will probably die just a little bit less, and that would be grand. Be just swell. So yeah, that's what I've been working on.
Nice.
Right. What about you?
Before I get into what I'm geeking on, have you gotten to the scene yet where Swear Engine and Merrick are talking? And Swear Engine asks Merrick if he's ever got it beaten.
Slaps him. Is
Yeah.
that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, and he tells him to stand it like a man and give some back.
Yeah. Oh, what a powerful
what a
fucking line.
speech.
Yeah.
So anyway, Joel and I have been hard at work, trying to wrap up the storyboard and script work for the Wrench #1, I guess. Hopefully, sometime in the next couple of weeks, we'll actually have I'll have a complete 36-page storyboard for you guys to go over and look at and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
So that's
Nice.
Fantastic.
that's actually really fucking exciting. I don't know if you've seen any of Joel's work, but his artwork is fucking awesome.
It really
And
is.
so I'm really looking forward to going to the next step, which the next step is just honestly it's him actually drawing it, taking it from storyboard form to actually having artwork. So daunting, but very cool. So
Yes, it is indeed.
yeah, that's what I think I submitted my final 8 pages to him this week, and only waiting on 4 more.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm just giving you shit.
No, I know.
So the last 4 are being written by Joe, for anybody who's wondering. So
I
but
was
yeah, that's what I've
wondering.
been geeking on this week. That and like Nick said, Christmas stuff. We've with kids we've been full swing. So
I have no doubt.
looking forward to that, and really looking forward to the gifts that I got myself, to be honest with you.
Gifts you got yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the best
They're under the
gifts.
tree.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. You don't treat yourself, Nick?
I do not.
You're missing out sorely. Maybe that's why you're so bitter all the time. Treat yourself
You
more.
know, you should get more pedicures.
Yes, you should.
I wasn't listening. What?
Nick. Great season,
We
gentlemen.
survived, guys.
We will see everybody. We'll be back on the airwaves late January. We're going to take ourselves a break, and we'll be right back in the swing of it for season 4.
I can't wait.
Thank you to all of you who make this possible and for listening, and to all of our fantastic guests from 2016 who give substance to our otherwise flaccid programming. Keep the questions coming in, the comments. We appreciate it. We'll get back to you. Any ideas for 2017 topics you'd like to hear about, people you'd like to have us bring in? We're always looking to hear
Guests
from it. So
you'd like to wrangle for us?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's that too.
You know a guy who knows a guy who knows Richard Marx's agent.
I would
hook
love
us
to
up.
have Richard Marx on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard Marx saved a Korean Air flight over the weekend by subduing a passenger with a rope.
Yeah.
That is one of the best sentences uttered on this show, though. So stay for the plugs, because we're not.
We went out on a high note.
Teaser for 2017. I imagine there'll be some plugs though. So
If you like what we do or you want to harass us, be sure to check us out on Twitter at Geekcast Live, Geekcast Rye, Geekcast Base, Geekcast Joe, and Geekcast Nick. If you want to check out our podcast, be sure to go to GCL.ninja. Want to check our Facebook out and interact with us? Geekcast Live is what you got to search for. And be sure to check us out on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. Lie if you have to.
If you don't get enough of Geekcast Joe, check me out on my other show, This Freakin' Show, at thisfreakinshow.com.
If you have listened to the show before, you are most likely familiar with the guys from Wayward Raven. And if you haven't listened to the show, you're going to have to just trust me on this one. These guys are the best and have some kick-ass wares over at waywardraven.com. So head over there and check them out. Use our discount code NECKBEARD and save yourself some dollar bills. Hey, Knuckleheads, GCR here. Thank you for a great 49 episodes and a great Season 3. This episode is going to be released on Christmas Eve, and I felt there was no bit of bass more appropriate than Robert Earl Keen's Merry Christmas from the Family. Happy holidays, everybody. We'll see you in Season 4.
Drunk and Dad got drunk at our Christmas party. We were drinking champagne punch and homemade eggnog. Little sister brought her new boyfriend. He was a Mexican. We didn't know what to think of him till he sang Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. Brother Ken brought his kids with him, the 3 from his first wife Lynn, and the 2 identical twins from his second wife Marinelle. Of course, he brought his new wife, Kay, who talks all about AA, chain smoking while the stereo plays Noel, Noel, the first Noel. Caught the turkey, turned the ball game on. Mixed margaritas when the eggnog's gone. Send somebody to the quick pack store. We need some ice and an extension cord, a can of bean dip and some diet rides, a box of tampons, some Marlboro Lights. Hallelujah, everybody say cheese. Merry Christmas from the family. Fran and Rita drove from Harlingen. I can't remember how I'm kin to them, but when they tried to plug their motorhome in, they blew our Christmas lights. Cousin David knew just what went wrong, so we all waited out on our front lawn. He threw a breaker and the lights came on, and we sang Silent Night, oh, Silent Night, oh, holy night. Carve the turkey, turn the ball game on, make Bloody Marys, 'cause we all want one. Send somebody to the stop and go. We need some celery and a can of fake snow, a bag of lemons and some diet Sprites, a box of tampons, some Salem Lights. Hallelujah, everybody say cheese. Merry Christmas from the family.